The Judicial Council is the policy-making body for the California court system, which means we support the courts so that they can provide services to people. And we also serve people directly by providing them information so that they understand the legal system and how to move through it successfully. One of the top goals is to make sure that everybody can have access to the court system, and if they do, that they're treated fairly and with respect. And one of the ways that we can really provide access to people is to make sure that they understand the system. You know, some people would say that the system is not designed for people, it's designed for lawyers. Well, that's our job, is to make sure that regular people, lay people, can move through the process successfully and understand every step of the way. One of the main services that our courts provide are self-help services, and those are offered all throughout the state in every county to help people who have to represent themselves. A way that we provide support statewide to all Californians is we have a lot of information available in English and in Spanish on our website. And the website is designed to take people through a court case step by step. So it's really user-friendly and intuitive. I think the last way that we provide services, or maybe most importantly, is as an agency, we create court forms for people to use. A court form is a really powerful tool. It's a way for a person to communicate with a judge in a case. If I need to ask for protection, a court form is going to tell me what I need to include and what I can ask for. Every court in California, in all 58 counties, has what we call a self-help center. There are some limitations to the services that self-help centers can provide. They cannot give legal advice, but they can give you legal information. And the difference is, legal advice is when a lawyer is going to tell you what your best option is. Legal information is when somebody tells you what all your options are, and then it's up to you to decide which option is going to be best for you in your case. And so to qualify for those services, you would be representing yourself. You would not have a lawyer. There really isn't any qualifying criteria for accessing the court system. It's supposed to be everybody in California can access the system. It doesn't matter what your immigration status is. We do a lot of work to make sure that people feel safe in courthouses, so there's security when you go to court. And we also provide services if you need additional assistance. If you need language assistance, there's court interpreters. So there's no requirement that you have to speak or write or read in English. So it's really a place for everybody. If you need to do business with the court, then all are welcome. So if you're coming to court for help for legal information, there are no fees for those services. If you're going to open a case or you're going to join a case, there could be fees, but there are ways to get around those fees. If you have a low income or you qualify for public assistance, you can ask the judge to waive those fees so that you do not have to pay for those fees. There are also some cases in which there are no court fees by law. For example, if you're being abused by an ex-partner, you will not have to pay any court fees to file that kind of request. So there's two main ways in which a person can enter in the court system. The first way, and the most common way, is through civil court. And that's when one person is suing another person, or sometimes a business in court. It's just between individuals or businesses. The second way is when a government agency is involved. So for example, if a possible crime occurred, then the local county agency, usually the district attorney's office, can file criminal charges, and then that would open a criminal case in which an individual becomes the defendant in that case. One of the most important ways that we've provided increased access for people is by allowing them to attend court by video conference like Zoom or by phone. And so having the option of using the phone or video conference is really important. Another way is by providing folks with a way to turn in papers or file papers electronically, and sometimes that's by email. Again, not forcing people to go in person to a courthouse. And this takes into account the fact that we know a lot of resources are spent doing court business. If somebody has to go to court, they have to take time off of work, they might have to find childcare, they might have to find transportation, and that's a lot of resources for a lot of people in California. So the more options we give people, the better. Some people who access our court system are going to need additional help, and we have to be ready for that. So some folks might need an accommodation if they have a disability. So every court in California has a disability coordinator, and if you need that assistance, there's a way to ask for it so that the court can accommodate your disability. Another way is if somebody needs language assistance. There are hundreds of languages spoken in California, and in every courthouse there's a way for you to ask for a court interpreter in your case. So we have to make sure that we're meeting the needs of the diverse communities that represent California, and those are a couple of ways that we're doing that. Court can be a really stressful place for people, especially people who have experienced something traumatic. And so it's important to know that you can always bring a person with you, like a support person, a friend, or an advocate to help you, to take notes for you. And sometimes that support person can even attend your court hearing with you, and that means sitting next to you when your case is being heard by the judge. If you have a court case or you think you have a legal issue, I would start with our self-help website. It'll give you step-by-step instructions on how to move through a lot of different kinds of cases, like a divorce case, or a child custody case, or a restraining order case. It'll also give you information on how to contact your local self-help center so that if you want to talk with somebody, that might be a better option for you. The website is available in English and in Spanish.